I'm Aaron Pearce. I'm one of the partners here in the Pentagram studio.
I'm Federico. I am a strategist with Pentagram.
I've been in Pentagram for 18 years. My whole life's been in design. It's always been design.
At the beginning I was a designer. I've been a graphic designer, I've been a filmmaker, I've been a creative director. I enjoy the fact that I've been moving across different disciplines and integrating different aspects of creative work.
It's called Pentagram because 5 people started it in 1972. They were a mixture of design disciplines. There was three graphic designers, a product designer and an architect. And the idea is they got together to share the weight of a business and inspire each other. The idea is if one is not busy as the other, you pass work to the others to keep them busy. You share your portfolio. One of the most extraordinary things is that the business gets handed down to the next generation for free by the elder partners. You know, we keep bringing in younger partners behind us, so even though we're 51 years old as a business, it's still actually very young business. You know, it's almost like a series of startups are going on and growing through the system. So it's an amazing thing. I feel very privileged to have been in it for 18 years.
I would say talking to people. Realistically, I think, that moment of discovery, the initial moment of like learning how people are really, both the people that you work for and the people you work with. It's also the moment in which, together with the rest of the team, there is a synthesis of insights, of inspiration, of envisioning what you could be producing. That's a very exciting time. It's a part of my job that I love.
So for me, the creative thing happens a lot in here at Pentagram and elsewhere. And I remember years and years ago, really early on in my career, I think it was either an artist or another designer who said to me, you have to look for the sunshine in your stomach. And when you get that feeling, that's the magic of the creative. It's like the creative magic, and you know what that feeling's like. It's like a tingle up the spine, or I think the idea of calling it sunshine in your stomach is beautiful. So for instance, I know we've been talking about stories and things. I can remember years ago with my 2 very young sons in a boat, and we'd been snorkeling, and it was getting late in the day, and I dived down and there was nothing but kind of scree. It was quite deep, and I was running out of air, and I kind of thought, I've got to grab something from down here. This is an amazing place. So I just grabbed a stone and put it in my trunks, and I put it in my hand. It was a Neolithic skinning tool. Now, the chances of that, when I could hardly breathe, could hardly see, I just put my hand down blindly, fell into my hand. That moment was for me a profoundly creative moment. I realized people have been making things since the time they needed anything, designing things for purpose. Here, hundreds of thousands of years later, I was picking that same object up, it was just as beautiful as the day it was made. And you realize as a designer, or you're in a long line of people making stuff from, millennia. And that was a real sunshine in the stomach moment.
Relevance. So how relevant you can be particularly to the audiences that you are creating for. To their needs, aspirations, their worlds, and then also resonance, how much the work resonates with them, so how much they can relate to it and sort of respond to it, or also on an emotional level. Another one is maybe sort of striving to find what is essential. So like there's a quote that has been attributed to Einstein, which is like, as simple as possible, but not simpler. Or if you think about Dieter Rams in the design world, as little design as possible. So it's like getting to that essence, to what really is important and what really matters, and not add anymore.
I always remember growing up how, say, music moved me, and I always dreamt of thinking, God, if I can do something that moves people, I'm giving back what I got from wonderful things that I've seen, whether it's a piece of art that I've seen that said music or anything. and I feel like I've been chasing that and finding it as much as I can in my design life, and that's kind of a funny way around it, but it's very true. It's if I chase it right back, it's about very, very direct, powerful feelings about trying to move people.
I get asked this question a lot, and yes, we are living through tremendous change. And the thing is, I think we've always lived through tremendous change. I think that the change is what is not changing. And therefore, I mean, if you're referring to technology, I think creativity has always been evolving alongside technology and has always been using technology. I mean, nowadays, obviously, everybody's talking about AI, and yes, that's a pretty impressive technology, quite a leap forward. But in my view, the tool is not ever going to replace the person. Like, you know, creativity is by definition is a human endeavor. So I'm not particularly worried about it. I think it offers great opportunity. It also offers great threats if it's misused.
And creativity make the world a better place if you choose creativity to be a thing that elevates and is about positivity. Absolutely. If you choose it for other means, it can be used in the other way too. I mean, some very smart creative people have done some really, really terrible things over the span of the human existence. So it's a human choice. It's our choice. So we have to make the right one whenever we get that chance.
I would say look for what matter and keep doing it. That would be the fundamental one.
I think I would tell myself to be as broad and as open as I possibly could be. I think I have been, but I'd love to think I could push that even further.